Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I had a meeting yesterday. Sent this out to my mailing list. You only on the mailing list if you are in a course on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com, where I have over 20 courses on there just teaching what life has taught me. But sent out some of the lessons. But one of the things I learned, and my wife, she always tell me this. And one of the things is about how we all spend our money. We all spend money, and we spend the money on things that we like. So sometimes my wife, she could look at this house that somebody has, and that may be their thing. Like, we know people with big, beautiful houses, but then their cars are, their cars are normal cars, like okay cars. Like, it's not something that I would want to drive, at that level of success. But for them, it works because they put their money in their house. Whereas our house is nice, but it's not the biggest, best thing in the world. And then we put more money into our cars because, we like nice cars. And when I went to visit the gentleman, I don't know what kind of car he drives, but his house 24,000 square feet, and he had amazing gym in there that he had, custom built. The house was custom designed by his wife. It's her dream house. And so when you think about it, technically, and it's just them two, it's just them two. Their kids are grown. They got a couple dogs. The dogs weren't there right then. But when you think about it, most people, where just two people, will say, I do not need 24,000 square feet. Because you'll say, look, there's too much space. I won't get to go in majority of the rooms of the house on a daily basis. Somebody can sneak on my property. They could be hiding. They could be living at my house and I wouldn't know it because there's so many rooms. So I don't need this much space. But whereas, his wife, she said, hey, that's her dream. So you can't knock her. You can't knock her. Somebody may say, well, hey, I don't need 5 cars. I need 1 car. Whereas somebody else may say, hey, I love cars, so I want this type. I want an SUV. I want a car. I want a sports car, or and so it's different things for different people. And one of the things I feel like one of the lessons here is an abundant mindset, going from scarcity to abundance, and being able to visualize, see what you want, and being willing to go out and get it, going to get what you want and not care about what other people say, what other people. I remember talking to a financial guy, and I was like, and I had this car, and I was like, man, I gotta have my car. I like my car. And I was like, I know your guy who teach on finances ain't with it. And he was like, what? He got 2 of those that you got. I'm like, so I was like, how this man telling everybody to save all their money, save this, save that, do this, do that. And this man got 2 exotic cars. And that's how things go. People will tell you what not to do and what not to spend and where not to go. And then they just living it up. And one thing that I realize, and I'm humbled by this, and I'm reminded by this of, losing my videographer in December, is that tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. And one thing my wife, she always say to me when it come to money, she say, listen, she said, all these people who, talk about save, invest, they putting up millions of dollars into a bank account for a day that may never come. And anytime we see somebody, today I woke up, my dad told me my cousin died. My cousin, early 40s. Say he just stopped breathing. There's no telling why he stopped breathing, what it was. So I just lost my videographer sitting at a red light. He was killed. Wake up this morning, my first cousin, it's my uncle's son. He died. Like died in his sleep or just stopped breathing. And not that much older than me. So what it says to me, it reminds me once again, we just passing through. You know, make sure your eternity is secure, but don't get so caught up in living in a scarcity mindset in this life. Like, don't get so caught up. When I sat with that billionaire, he said it's not out of the realm of possibilities that my business could be out of business, that my company could go out of business in the next 5 to 6 years. He said that's not out of the realm of possibilities. And he said, but I wouldn't care. I would be on to the next thing and I would be doing something amazing. And I was like, wow. You know, to be listed as a multi-billion-dollar person, not 1 billion, you know, not $500 million, multi-billion, and have a company that's listed, you know, they say conservatively over 10 billion. And so it just kind of make you think like, man, to be at that level and to say, if this goes out of business, oh well. And so, and he mentioned scarcity versus abundance, the mindset. And I realized it's like, it's people, it's a couple things that you're gonna be in if you drive. You're gonna be in your home. You're gonna be in your car. And so what that may mean is, instead of sleeping on an air mattress, it's okay to go get a nice bed if you want a nice bed. And it's okay if you don't have $2,000 cash and you got a credit card and you want to put that bed on that credit card. Guess what? You could die in your sleep. So you deserve to be able to sleep comfortable. And sometimes we just think about, like the day I had bills to pay, you know, I blessing my wife, you know, sending my wife some money, paying my assistant. And I said, okay, yeah, this gonna take a hit on that account. But by Monday, when the bank process everything, Lord willing, I'll be good. But I got to do what I got to do. I got to pay for what I got to pay for. I can't sit and live in fear and live in scarcity and go without today and not do what I got to do because I don't trust God for tomorrow. I said, no, I'm gonna trust God for tomorrow. I'm gonna trust God that my blessings gonna come in, that my business gonna continue to grow and do well, and that I'll earn money even while I'm asleep. I woke up this morning and I had earned money while I was asleep. And that's what I created my businesses to do, and that's what they're doing. And I just pray God just bless them and favor them and do that. But I cannot live in fear. I cannot live in scarcity. I cannot live in lack. And so where they say Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg don't have a Gucci belt, okay, God bless you. That's them. If you like fashion and you want to have a nice belt, you can have a nice belt, because they may have a robot that costs $100 million that walk around and cook food and talk to them and be their best friend and could sleep with them and everything. We don't know that. Guess what? That money getting spent. That money getting spent just because they don't want a Gucci belt, just because they don't want to buy their wife a Chanel purse, or just because they don't want to drive a new car. That's their prerogative. But you can't base your life and deny yourself of happiness, of joy, of the things that you want to do because of what somebody else said, because you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. and your tomorrow is not promised. So if I'm gonna be in a car going to work, and I'm driving to work 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, an hour there, an hour back, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look at my income, and I'm gonna budget my bills to where I can afford $400 a month for a nice car, $500 a month, $700 a month, whatever that payment is, based on the car that I want. Because that car is my sanctuary, because I'm riding in that car, I'm thinking in that car, I'm praying in that car, I'm spending so much of my life in my car. I'm not finna be in no clunker listening to somebody's financial plan who is a millionaire. I'm not finna be riding no clunker. And it's like, I could lose my life on the road. So I want a car that has the highest safety ratings, that is the best it could be. Because that's where I'm gonna be at. Same thing with where I'm living. If I gotta live somewhere, especially if I was a single woman, even a single man, if I need to pay $1,500 a month on where I'm living, and I'm making whatever, $2,500, $3,000 a month, if I'm making $2,000 a month, I'm finna add a stream of income so that I can afford the rent on a apartment, condo, house, townhouse in a nice area, in a nice neighborhood. And I'm gonna stretch my mind, because when I stretch my mind from $800 a month to $1,500 a month, guess what? I'm gonna get more business ideas. I'm gonna have more business ideas because now I got to pay more money to be in a nice area with a gate, at the front, with a security guard in the Rover, you know, something that's gonna add a little bit of peace of mind. Then when I go in there, I feel secure that the neighbors I'm around, they are working good jobs and they're spending this premium dollar to be in this place. And I'm stretching myself, I'm pushing myself, I'm going to that next level instead of staying in a scarcity mindset. So wherever you are, there is another level, but you have to believe that you can get to that level. You got to think on that level. You got to dress on that level. You got to talk on that level. You got to walk on that level. You got to think like that. You got to think like that. And you can't think scarcely. Like, listen, I ain't have $700 to spend yesterday, but because I sat with a billionaire and I heard him say on an interview that he drink his good wines. Now he drink his good wines, and he a collector of bad wines. And so I bought 2 bottles of red wine. One was $500, one was $250. I spent $700, $800. I ain't even look at the final bill. I just hand the man my credit card and let him run it. And I thought abundantly, because I say this all gonna come back to me. This is me showing gratitude. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. It's not talking about your talents. In that context, it's talking about bringing a gift to the king. It's talking about the gift you bring will make room for you and bring you before great men. And so, but we relate it to, you know, your gift, like your talents, what you're good at. But when I read that, and I read it in context, I got mad with my daddy. I say, man, this thing talking about a physical gift. I'm thinking you're talking about like my gift to write. He said, yeah, it's all the same thing, son. It still could mean that. I'm like, okay, well, you should have told me the context. So I thought that said something to me. It said, when I was getting ready to go to the man's house, I heard in my spirit, your gift will make room for you. He wrote me today, billionaire, a lot going on. Say he got 2 major deals he trying to close today. You know what he wrote me today? He said, Tony, thank you so much for the wonderful gift. And yesterday he said, Tony, you're a classy man when you got that gift, because I know most men don't think like that. Most men don't think to give another man a gift when that man giving his time and giving even just something small. What is $700 worth of wine to a billionaire? Nothing. It ain't nothing, but it's the thought. So I had to think abundant minded. So guess what? On my way coming home, I had an idea for a business. Last night when I got home, I was thinking of domain names. I come up with one. I got the domain name. I show it to my wife. I say, what you think about this? This is like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. She said, I love that. And she said, if you don't use it, I'm gonna use it for something. Bought the domain. Wrote the guy, wrote a developer. Said, hey, can you do this? He said, yeah, I could do that. This right here with this right here will be great for that. I say, man, listen. I only got a couple grand I could spend on this. He said, I could do it under your budget. Boom. He said, I'm gonna get on it. So now he's starting to work on it. I got the Instagram name. I got the Twitter name. I got to get the Facebook page name. And all of that come to me on the way coming home from meeting with him. The $700 gift that I stretched my mind to buy, it's gonna come back to me 10,000 fold, because I just thought of a business, and that business gonna earn. I don't know how yet. I don't know in every way yet, but it's gonna earn, and it's gonna earn in multiple different ways. It's gonna earn in multiple different ways, and it has the potential to be a $1 billion company one day, valuated at $1 billion or more. And I'm gonna build it just one step at a time, because what I learned from him is that he's not a genius, that he's not special, that he's not different than you and I, but that he put one foot in front of the other. He took one step at a time, one little small step at a time, and then voila, that first step turned into this 1,000-mile journey. And now he listed as a billionaire, living in a 24,000-foot square house with a good mindset, good health in his body, in his 50s. And I say, you know what? I could be that. I could do that. Ain't no difference between us. It's just, the thing is, we don't often activate on our ideas. And we live small, and we live in scarcity because of our parents, because of our neighborhood, because of our culture, because of our race, because of our nationality. And we don't stretch ourselves. We don't push ourselves. And we speak negativity over ourselves, and we say, oh, I don't want that, and oh, I don't want that, and oh, I'm not gonna do that, and oh, I'm not gonna do that. And we judge other people for what they doing, and we hate on other people because they think differently and because they live differently. And then we end up stuck in the same place or going backwards. And the people that we was judging, the people we was hating on, the people who we call crazy, the people who we call greedy or selfish or whatever word we made up in our head because we didn't have the guts to believe on the level that they believed on, we watched them win. We watched them win, and we watched them win big. And I say, you know what? That ain't gonna be me. No longer am I gonna sit in fear and be scared to activate, and be scared to say stuff, and be scared to operate in my gifts, and be scared to step out on faith, be scared to do something because I'm worrying about what other people gonna think, and who am I, and who called me to do this, and how can I do this, and what do I think I am, and who do I think I am, and people gonna judge, and people gonna hate. You know what? Forget about it. I got to go. I got to live while I'm here, and I got to make this life count for everything that it can count for, because it's a fleeting moment. It's here and then it's gone. And tomorrow is not promised, so we got to leave a legacy. Every chance we get, we got to impact the world. We got to operate in purpose, operate in our gifts, and we got to make stuff happen. One step at a time. Get your domain. Build your website yourself if you have to. Get your logo. Get your social media accounts. Do what you got to do, one step at a time, $1 at a time, one day at a time, and you're going to wake up one day and mess around and be a millionaire because you took one step at a time and you did not stop moving. You did not stop stepping. Hey, this is Tony Gas, and I got to gas up so I could go on here and get on to my son's soccer game tonight. I got a little game tonight, and then I'll be on doing the Instagram Q&A. Hey, God bless you. And when y'all see me shouting out the coaches and the authors, those individuals, they got a special invite from being in the academy, TonyGasAcademy.com. So sometimes you'll see stuff going on that you know nothing about if you're not in one of the courses on TonyGasAcademy.com. So it's courses on there as cheap as, I think, $10. So make sure you get what you need, invest in yourself on that level, And then so that way when I'm doing little special stuff or I'm casting for certain people, I got an email going out tomorrow to the students of the academy. And the people who unsubscribe from the list, God bless you, good riddance. You know, God bless, keep your head up, keep going. Hey, we'll talk soon.